What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Virzi Effect podcast show. My name is Paul Virzi, and you guys listening to episode 519. How the hell is everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing great in between shows. I hope everybody is enjoying their holiday season. I know that I am. Got a good show for you guys today. I'm flying solo. I know you guys like when I'm flying solo, but what I'm going to be doing, and I'll make the announcement. Got some big announcements actually at the top of Virzi Effect 519. So I will lay down those announcements and then we will get going. As you guys know, I look crisper. It looks better in here. We have a new camera. We have new lighting. Look how crisp this shit looks. Anyway, so announcements, guys. First of all, I will be doing 2 guests a month on the Virzi Effect and 2 solos. Okay. I don't know how it's going to go, but I'd like to go maybe every other, right? I want to thank my guest last week, Chelsea Cook. That's up right now, so you guys can see that. But I'm sorry, not Chelsea Cook, Kelsey Cook, excuse me. Kelsey Cook, so funny. We had a great talk. That is available right now. Get the Virzi Effect podcast on iTunes, Spotify, everywhere you guys get your podcasts. Please rate, review. The show keeps moving up, and that's how it keeps moving up with all of your reviews. So I really, really appreciate it. Thank you guys for all of your YouTube comments, especially the nice ones. If you're saying bad ones, you're a dick, whatever. But thank you for listening nonetheless. And like I said, we're going to do 2 guests and 2 solos a month moving forward. That's going to really start 2022. I'm happy to announce that my first special, a lot of people were asking for it. It was really frustrating, guys. My first special, for some reason, wasn't even on the paywall of the Comedy Central streaming. We didn't know why. Comedy Central fixed the problem. My first special right now, I'll say this, is for free until December 27th. You could stream it on Comedy Central. It's on all of my social media. It's on Facebook. It's on Instagram. It's on Twitter. My Instagram story. The link is in the bio of my Instagram account. So you could see, I'll say this, Comedy Central special that dropped in November of 2018. It is available now for free until December 27th, and then it goes behind the paywall. But it is there, so thank you. It came out yesterday, and so many people are loving it. My new special will be coming out early 2022, and we are figuring out those dates now. We're going to have a lot of those questions answered probably by the end of this week or next week. You know, exactly where it's going to be, how you're going to get it, when it's coming out and all that. So we're thrilled with it. I think it's better. Everybody else thinks it's better than the first one. I'm really happy with the first one. So, thank you guys, for that. And that's it. So there you go. You're all caught up with everything that's going on. I am home, and guys, I am in fucking pain. All right. I had a great day yesterday. I had some great business calls. I had the special came back up. I had a lot of stuff going on, and I could not get out of bed because I did something to my back, and I literally couldn't walk. I was like, I said to my wife, I was like, I may have to go to the hospital. I cannot walk. The pain when I bent or moved my legs or head in my lower back was excruciating. I didn't know if I tweaked something. Like, I've had a stiff back, or I've when you blow your back out and it takes a day or two. It was that times fucking 10. Now, of course, I'm not sick, right? It's so I'm not sick. I'm resting. My voice is back. I feel good. No cold, breathing well. Everything is good. My rib bruise went away. Everything was good. I'm like, man, I'm back. And then boom, something happened with my lower back. Feels a little better today. Here's what I'm hoping. 2 days, it's gone. Just hoping it's not a significant injury. But back pain, when you I was almost crawling. I would move and my wife would just hear me go, don't take for granted not being in. People take for granted not being in fucking pain, right? There are people that wake up every day and they are in pain. They're in excruciating pain. They're taking pills to manage the pain. They got canes and walkers. and I shouldn't even be talking like that at my age, but dude, having a bad back sucks. Now I feel bad that I was like, man, Don Mattingly, how selfish are sports fans? Don Mattingly should have played more. Well, I know he had a bad back. You realize how dumb that is? That guy's playing professional baseball for the New York Yankees and his back was shot. And I'm like, man, if he would have just played more with his back, he could have made the Hall of Fame. And I'm like, that guy was in a lot of pain probably. So, but other than that, man, everything is going good. It's the holiday season, guys. It's the holiday season. Santa Claus is coming to town. Okay. The wine and whiskey will be flowing. The Christmas cookies will be out there. You'll have a fire. You'll have Christmas music. You'll have the Christmas movies on. It's an incredible time of year. All right. Now I want to talk about this, and I know you guys like when I rant. So I'm going to try. I know a lot of people listen to this now. The podcast is doing great. Okay. We're getting more fans. I want to thank the new fans who came over to the Virzi Effect. I want to thank the old school Virzi Effectors from a long time ago. Listen to this podcast. All right. But here's the deal. And I truly mean this. And if I'm going to lose a fan because of this, then I'm going to lose a fan because of this. Okay. I don't care. All right. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to you personally. I'm talking about people in general. If you are one of these people, okay, who tell their kids Santa Claus does not exist, Santa Claus, we don't want our kids to just be, you are a miserable piece of shit. You are an unhappy asshole who is either insecure or projecting some shit that happened to you as a kid. I am looking deeper in this camera right now than I ever have during any podcast I've ever done. I'm looking at the little dot in the dot. Okay. If you tell your children that Santa Claus isn't real at a young age just because you want to be like, yeah, we don't do that with our kids. We don't make up. You are a piece of shit taking away a magical, amazing time. Okay. An unbelievable time for imagination, an unbelievable time to be festive and excited, an unbelievable time to watch movies and stories about this. And you're just taking it away because you are a miserable piece of shit. Now, some of you are going, no, we just don't want our kids to fantasize about things that aren't real. Grow the fuck up. All right. Let the kid have something. All right. You're going to let the kid play with blocks and dolls when they're little. That's not real shit. That's not like, they're playing with dumb shit that doesn't matter. You're going to let your kids, like your kids have an imaginary friend. Your kids are going to, it's just stupid. It's like, let this be something. Okay. Those are probably horrible examples, but you know what I'm saying? Kids are going to do things that are fake anyway. Kids are going to have imaginations of things. And I think it helps with the creative process. I think it's great for them to have that wonderment. And yeah, I can't stand that shit. Now, listen, if your kid's believing in Santa Claus at 15, 16, there's a problem. All right. Your kid's like, coming home from like his 11th grade final. And he's like, what's Santa get me this year? Kid's probably a little fucked up. All right. That's fine. But, I talked to some people that were just like, maybe some of my fucking friends, dude. And I don't care. I'll tell them. I'll be like, I think you're fucking wrong. And I think it's stupid. And I think you're trying to either be cool or whatever you're doing, but don't take that away from your children, man. It's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. Yeah, we're just going to tell them young because we don't want our kids thinking what's the point of that? What's the point of not like taking an amazing thing? Some of my greatest memories in this world have been like I remember we were at my grandmother's house and I was real young, probably 8, 9, 7, 8, 9. And they were like, oh, you hear that? He's not going to come if you don't get in bed. I ran in bed, woke up. There's a friggin' bicycle under the thing. It's like one of the most amazing things ever. I remember where I was when I was 8 years old and someone was like, just tell him, my stepfather, just tell him it's not. And I found out, and I remember where I was standing. It sucked, still bugs me. So let your kid have that. Let your kid have that. It's funny because like my kids knew, I think I told the story. My son found out and got teared up. And he's a little older than my daughter. And I was like, what did your sister say? And he's like, Dad, she knew like 2 years ago. My little girl, she said to us too, she goes, if he's not real, I'm going to be pissed. My little girl said that when she was 8 years old. And now, they know and stuff. She found out at 9. He found out at 12. And that's fine. That's what I think. No, he knew at like 10. He had an idea at 10. But like we actually set, like my wife sat down and told him, like, look, that, like, and he did know, but hearing it from my wife, he got a little, like, you could tell there's like this innocence coming. It's like, it sucks. So I'm not saying keep your kid thinking thinking some shit, the Easter bunny and the tooth fairy. I mean, let's be honest too. If the kid, I know that this is going to sound crazy, but the tooth fairy seems to me crazier than, like, if we go through all of them, right? You go through the tooth fairy. By the way, spoiler alert, please don't listen to this podcast if you have kids around. All right. This is, I don't want this 519 to just devastate your, like, my mom was listening to this comedian on a podcast. Kids just traumatized from age 5 because I just shit on the East, the tooth fairy, Easter bunny, Santa Claus, all that stuff. But I would imagine the kid knows, like, the tooth fairy's not. I threw my kid at 20. with the first tooth. And then when he got 5 afterwards, he's like, what's this about? I would have to explain to him, and it's like, after a while, they're going to put 2 and 2 together that, like, the tooth fairy doesn't fucking, deal with denominations or all stuff like that. The tooth fairy's like, has wings and shit. So the tooth fairy, to me, is like one that you should know. Easter bunny seems a little weird, like a gigantic rabbit, because the rabbit's got to be the rabbit's got to be big to bring all that shit. Like, you can't have a little rabbit bringing baskets. So the idea of a giant Easter bunny bringing that's a little silly. The Santa Claus thing, it's more about the story, because they figured out a way where he is human, but he's got these reindeer that fly for him. And Rudolph with the nose gets through bad weather, and the sleigh is magical. So the sleigh goes up with the reindeer, all that stuff. And like, he could be so fast and be around the world overnight, and presents just come to your house. I know that sounds nuts, but at least he doesn't have wings. If Santa Claus had wings, it would have fucked the whole thing up. Right? If Santa Claus had wings, it's over. It's like, nah, dude, he doesn't, he's human. Like, he's got a wife. I was joking saying that pretty soon they're going to start saying Santa Claus is a woman. And I said, if Santa Claus was a woman, she'd get you gifts she thought you needed. You were like, I wanted a skateboard, right? Like, we talked about this. And she's like, no, you needed this. You needed an organizer and all that stuff. I might have said that on another podcast. I'm sorry, but we were just talking about that. But anyway, back to the original thing. The original thing is this. Why do that to your kid? Why not just give it to your kid till they're 10 years old? How about make that rule, double-digit years? If they don't figure it out by 9 or 10, then you could, then it's up to the parents, to kind of say, we need to. And I get that. You're on a bus and you're in junior high school or the end of grade school, and you kind of know. But we had a little, a kid in our neighborhood, and and I don't know if this is part of it. Parents were vegan. It's always got to be that shit, right? This kid, parents were like vegan, and I didn't know anything about their views in life. I didn't know anything about their social views. I didn't know anything about that, but I just knew that they were vegan. They were health nuts, this and that. And one of the little kids went up and said something to one of my kids and was like, yeah, that's not, my parents would say, they told me, like, Santa Claus isn't real and doing that. Bringing that shit to school. How about this? Okay, that's piece of shit things. How about this? How about if you tell your kid, okay, if you're going to be an asshole to take that from your kid, fine. But how about you tell your kid, hey, Santa Claus isn't real, and we're not going to do that with you. But there are some kids in school that, think that, and it means a lot to them, and it gives them stuff. So don't ruin it for them. How about that? My son had a friend who knew Santa Claus wasn't real before him, and the kid is a good kid, and the kid didn't say shit for like a year. They're best friends. And he didn't say anything. Now, my son might have had an idea. We think my son had an idea. The questions he was asking let us know he had an idea. But as far as somebody flat out telling him it was all bullshit, his best friend just kept it in. That's a good friend. And these parents telling young kids and then say, yeah, go to school and spread that. That's a piece of shit thing to do. So I'll end on that. You're a piece of shit, miserable, unhappy, unfestive, unimaginable, unmagical fucking dickhead. That's what you people are. Any of you listening to this, give your kid, I mean, listen, if you don't celebrate, if you celebrate Hanukkah, you're Jewish. I get that. I get that. I'm talking about people that grew up with the whole thing of Christmas and Santa Claus telling their kids at a super young age for whatever reason is bullshit. Now, I don't want to hear this is not up for discussion. I don't want to hear your YouTube comments of like, I disagree. I don't care if you disagree. I'll have your fucking comment taken off. This is not about you talking back to me about this shit. Okay? I don't care. You could write and say that you agree. And if you don't agree, we could agree to disagree. Don't write me some paragraph of why it'll make your kid think other things are real. It's no, it's not. No, it's not. Have a fucking talk with your kids when they find out. And then you say, hey, guess what, kids? We did it for this reason, but yes, blah, blah, blah. Be a good parent. Be a good parent. If your kid's that fucking weak that believing in Santa Claus till 10 years old is going to make them believe in other shit later in life and be naive, then your kid sucks anyway. Get the fuck out of here with that. Seriously, get out of here with that. All right. I don't want to hear your little rebuttal about this. All right. You either have dickhead parents or you have parents that are awesome that want to give you the best and make you have a good time and enjoy things in this life that we're living in. All right. Fuck everybody else who doesn't agree with it. And I don't care about your stupid comments. Matter of fact, how about this? You say something negative about this on YouTube, I'm going to have my producer take it up. I'm never going to see it. How about that? Okay. I win that way. Fuck off. It's Christmas. Santa Claus is coming to town, assholes. He's coming to town, and it's a magical thing. All right? That's why Christmas Eve is the greatest holiday there is. Let's talk about the UFC fights. Guys, I cannot believe how great those UFC fights were. I was home, ordered the fight. It was a big card, so I had one good friend over. My son had a friend over. As a matter of fact, his best friend who held the secret from him for a year because he's a good kid. Oh, by the way, I want to say something to the fans. I'm going to do this on Anything Better too, but I want to say something to the fans. Everybody that heard the story about my son Lucas and going through that week of tryouts and excuse me, he had a bad situation happen with this travel team, and it kind of like, didn't mess with his confidence, but it was just a different type of thing that it didn't make basketball fun for him anymore, which was the first time for us. And anyway, he loves basketball, and he practiced during this, and he practiced while he like had that bad taste in his mouth. And then he tried out for his basketball team modified. And if you guys listen, he made the team. And the coaches were so impressed with his passing. He's a natural point guard. He's a natural shooter. And so many of you that listen to the podcast put so many messages out. There was literally like 10,000 messages on Anything Better about congratulations to your son, Lucas. And I got to be honest, man, normally I don't talk about stuff like that on the podcast, but the people that said that, man, it means a lot. And we really, really appreciate it. And, I said, hey, there were people that were really happy for you, and it lit him up a little bit. He liked it. So thank you all so much for that. But he was there with his friend, and my buddy came over, and those fights were unbelievable. But I felt like there was something wrong with Amanda Nunes, the way she was smiling. I don't know if you guys saw the fight. Amanda Nunes is smiling early in the fight. She was smiling. And then in between fights, when she was sitting with her corner, the way she was looking and nodding her head and smiling, something was wrong and off. I think she just was fighting somebody that really had a different mindset to come in. And I'm not saying she overlooked her, but you could tell something was off. I remember because my buddy was like, man, she doesn't care. She's just like smiling. She's going to kill her. And I was thinking, I was like, I don't know about that. I don't know. Like I literally was like the smiling and the looking around and the nodding. It seemed off. And then when she tapped out, like that was incredible. I thought the Oliveira fight against Poirier was unbelievable because it looked like Dustin was tagging him up and it could be over. And you know what's funny? You ever watch a UFC fight and you're watching the fight? Oh, I gotta put this in. Hold on 1 second. Sorry, I gotta put this in so we don't lose power. You know the way when you're watching a fight, you root for somebody, right? You're like, oh, I'm rooting for that person, or you bet on that person. You're rooting for them, and then all of a sudden they start winning easily, and you're like, I kind of want more fight, right? You're like, you're kind of like, all right, now I want the other person to start. Like, I want this thing to go. That's the thing about the UFC is you want it to go like long and be great. Even when you bet on somebody or like you're like that guy's gonna win. I don't want to be right in 45 seconds in the first round. I don't want to even be right in the middle of the second round. I want to be right at the end of the fight so I actually got to watch a fight. But the whole card was fun, and that's why the UFC is the best. The UFC is like, it's incredible because there's multiple amazing fights every other week. It's just, there are some good boxers coming out now, but I mean, there needs to be more fights. There needs to be more fights. And if boxing wants to really start coming back, I would do the ESPN Plus deal with ESPN if you can. I would make those fights available. I would, boxing matches doesn't have to be the heavyweight championship for people to watch or the middleweight championship. Show the flyweight, super lightweight fights. Show all of that, but make those fighters known so you have somebody to root for the way the UFC does. That's how I look at it. I think that like I would have never cared about a bantamweight. I don't even know what the fuck bantamweight means. They're just making it flyweight, bantamweight. I don't know what that shit means, but the UFC throws those people in front of you. You watch the fight, you watch somebody light it up, and then the next time he comes out, oh, I like this guy. I know this guy. Do that with boxing. Do that with boxing. Stop ducking people. Boxing could change this. Make the number one ranked guy fight the number two guy. I don't understand why that doesn't happen. So we'll see. We will see, what happens with boxing moving forward. I have seen some really good boxers lately, and I love watching it. I love watching a good boxing match. Boxing was my first favorite like fight game. And then the UFC just was happening all the time. And I got into the UFC, I would say probably like 3 years ago, seriously, when like, I remember I was like walked into a Hooters and because we went to a movie theater next to a Hooters and we were starving and there was a table in there and there were all these fights on and we just started watching. Oh, that was cool. Then the next week, oh, there's another one of those UFC fights. Oh, that was cool. Oh, I saw that guy before. Oh, that was cool. Oh shit, that guy's coming out to that music. That's cool. And then all of a sudden I started hearing Dana White talk. And then they got involved with ESPN. And then their marketing was incredible. And then they would bring the champions on holding the belt, talking shit. And then it was like, the UFC is like the WWE, but for real. It's like wrestling, but for real. The shit talking, the walking out with belts, the all that shit. It's amazing. It's amazing. And I love it, man. Bruce Buffer yelling the stuff. And I love the Rogan Cormier. I'm sorry, the other dude, John Anik, the other ball guy, like that guy's awesome. Like listening to that and listening to those guys talk about it and break it down. And Rogan is so good at really seeing what's going on in a fighter's head. He really is. He said something that was like, and he was one of the only ones, but he said something when he was like, Juliana Pena really is walking around like she believes she can do this. He said that before the fight. He's like, she really is looking like she could do it. And then he would watch, and I know he's been doing this for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of fights probably, but like he would watch and be like, oh, you could tell something's wrong. They're in trouble. And the novice, somebody who's just watching it is like probably going, what does he mean? I don't think but he sees. So that's why I love when he's there. I think he's the best. He's so good at that. But I really, really think that what the UFC has done for Saturday nights for people that love combat sports, MMA, all that stuff, it's incredible, man. It's really, really incredible. So I enjoyed that. Is you want to talk about anything better? Is there anything better than that? Is there anything better than, being home on the holidays and watching a good fight card when you're off? I'm having an amazing time being home with my kids. I am getting ready for Atlanta, though. I'm getting ready for Atlanta, guys, and I cannot wait for you guys to come out there. I will be at the Punchline in Atlanta, January 7th through the 9th. So you could get tickets to that at paulvirzi.com or go to the Atlanta Punchline. I believe it's punchlinecomedy.com. You can get tickets for that. I'm doing Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We want to sell those things out. Cannot wait to be in Atlanta. So if you're in that area, man, tell a friend, spread the word. It's a small room. I think the room holds like 200, and I'm doing 2 Friday, 3 Saturday, 1 Sunday. So a lot of stand up in Atlanta, but come out. That's going to be a good time. I don't have really, by the way, I want to shout out to Kayla Harrison. All right. Now, something weird happened. I've never had anything like this happen before. It was kind of freaky how it happened. So I'll explain to you guys what happened. But somebody sent a picture, okay, of, I'll either have Andrew throw the picture up, but you guys, you can look at my Twitter. So there's no reason. Somebody sent a picture and was like, look at this. This is ridiculous. But Kayla Harrison, the UFC fighter or the MMA fighter who's got, I guess, going to UFC, was at the fight, and she like jumped up out of her seat and was like looking in, standing up on her seat. And somebody said, yeah, this is my view. Maybe I should watch from home next time. And it was literally somebody sitting there and 2 UFC fighters, including Kayla Harrison, standing on her thing, looking in the ring, and it just blocked everybody's view. So not only is there a cage in front of you, a fence, but there's also these big UFC fighters standing up, and this person couldn't see. So I screenshot it and I said, yeah, this is why I'll watch the UFC from home. How disrespectful is this? Like, I'd rather be home. Now, I didn't know. I remember seeing Kayla Harrison there, and I remember seeing that she had a white shirt. I did not know for certain that it was Kayla Harrison standing up. Anyway, I take a screenshot of it. I say, this is why I'll watch it from home, sitting down. By the way, how disrespectful is this? Blah, blah, blah. And Kayla Harrison responds to me. She goes, oh my God, I'm so sorry. She goes, a friend of mine just lost, and I was saying something to her. Again, I apologize. I would never do it. And she was so nice. And it totally disarmed me, because I didn't even think. I'm like, well, wait a minute. It was a UFC fighter or an MMA fighter looking at a friend, supporting a friend who lost. It was probably only for a few minutes. So then I said, Kayla, I'm sorry. I said, I didn't know it was you. That makes sense. I said, and you're a sweetheart for responding to this. All the best to you. And then some people were like, oh, that's so cool that this happened on social media. And someone was like, oh, Paul, so it's not disrespectful because she's a celebrity? No. Or because she's famous? No, she explained. And first of all, I wasn't even at the fight. That's the funniest thing. I just screenshotted and said, man, I would never go to a fight. That looks shitty. And how disrespectful is that person? Happens to be this MMA fighter who was yelling to a friend who just lost, like, I love you. You're okay. You're still a champ, whatever she was doing. And, she ends up being so sweet and nice. We actually have mutual friend. We have mutual friends. And I heard how sweet and nice she was. And she was super, super cool. We squashed it on the Twitter thing. Not that there was anything to squash, but it was just like, she was just like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, thinking I was there. And we cleared it up. But shout out to her. And now, because of that, that's all it takes. That's all it takes for me. I'm a fan now. Now, if she goes for anything, you know what? I'm rooting for her. I'm rooting for her to get the title. I'm rooting for her to go to UFC and win the title. She seems awesome. And, you know, it's funny, like when you call somebody out or you say something, you don't really know their side. I remember, I think I told this story many times on the podcast, maybe, or on other podcasts, whatever. But I remember one time somebody cut me off and my sister off, and it could have been real bad. And the guy pulls in the parking lot, and I pull in after him. I pull next to him, and I get out of the car. He gets out of the car, and I'm like, "What are you fucking nuts? You could have killed me, my sister. You could have killed blah blah." This whole scene in the parking lot, and the guy goes, "I know, you're right, dude. I'm so sorry." I go, "You can't do it." He goes, "I know. What are you gonna do? I'm so sorry." And I was just like, "All right, man. Well, have a good day, man." Like, because he just disarmed it. But she did that, and it was really, really nice of her to be like, "I'm so sorry." So she could have easily been like, "Fuck you, my friend lost, and I'm yelling. It was 2 seconds. Get over it." You know, and she wasn't like that. She was just like, "I'm so sorry." Goes to show you the type of person that she is. So shout out to her. And so there's really no unacceptable this week on the Virzi Effect podcast. I'm trying to think of an unacceptable, and no, everything is pretty good. Now, I saw a movie last night. I'll do a little movie review. I do that sometimes on the show. I'll talk some football, obviously, on Anything Better with Burr. Make sure you guys like, subscribe that show. Please like, subscribe to Virzi Effect. But I saw this movie last night on Netflix called The Shack. And it was about a guy, you know, I'll try to do it without a spoiler alert. A guy does something early in his life as a boy. He's living with it, and then something tragic happens in his life. Something happens tragic in his family. And then he's called back. He's like invited to this shack in the woods where he basically spends a weekend with God. And yeah, there's some, I don't know how to say other than that, but I'll say the movie got me angry. It got me emotional. It got me questioning things. It got me anxious. It got me questioning things in life. So I'll say this: I don't even know the review to give it. It bothered me and I wanted to turn it off, but I couldn't. And then even towards the end, I was like, fuck this, but then I couldn't. And then at the end, then I had tears in my eyes. I don't know what that means. So what I'll say is, if you're an emotional person, and I don't like weep at movies. The most I'll get would be like a watery eye. The most. I've never cried at a movie, but this one is a tear jerker, I should say. And I would say, if you like sentimental kind of, you know, he's obviously angry, and he's talking to look. It's interesting. I would say watch. It's over 2 hours, but it got me emotional, and it was pretty nuts. I couldn't imagine watching it if I was in a situation like any of the characters. So anyway, I don't know. I would say watch it. It gets the Virzi Effect approval, but it got me angry, and then okay, it was a weird one. So that's all I could say about it. But check it out. Let me know what you guys think. If you did see it, write me what you think. Write me how you interpreted it. And I'd love to, you know, talk about it on the next show or whatever. But I try not to watch too much of, you know, Netflix, because it's a lot of content, and it's, you know, it's never that great. You know, the thing with Netflix is, you know, you got to catch one. Like I said in my new special, it's like TJ Maxx or Marshalls. But I'll let you listen to the full joke in the special. But so that's the movie review. I'm gonna watch. I didn't check out that. I might check out that Sandra Bullock movie, Unforgivable. I might check that out. I don't know, but that's what I saw last night. And yeah, guys, let me know any guests that you want on the Virzi Effect. I will be having some more guests on the Virzi Effect. Like I said, we're going to try to do 2 and 2 starting next year. Got a new Virzi Effect logo coming out real soon. It'll be ready for 2022, but there's going to be a new Virzi Effect logo. We're going to have 2 guests a month. We're going to do 2 solos a month. And the show is really growing. And it's because of you guys and the amount of people reaching out saying, man, you know, the Virzi Effect is up there with my favorite podcast. Please, guys, spread the word. I know I do a podcast with Bill Burr, Anything Better, and a ton of people watch that. But if you like hearing me solo, you like listening to my guests, there's a ton of guests on my YouTube channel. I have guests from so many guests. Sal Vulcano from Impractical Jokers, Whitney Cummings, obviously, Bill Burr and Giannis Pappas, and all of these amazing comedians have done the show. Brian Regan. I'm getting some other ones, and like I said, Jessica Kirsten, the Kelsey Cook, all that. It's all of them are on my getting movie directors now. I'm getting actors now. So Jerry Ferrara, Dom Lombardozzi, all these people have done the Virzi Effect. You can go to all of those episodes on my YouTube channel, like, subscribe, and let me know what you think of those episodes. And we're just going to keep coming. We're going to keep coming. We got a better camera. Look how good I look. All right, I'm sitting here. Got a good, you guys could see my logos. You could see everything. See that dope ass poster from the South by Southwest. And there's going to be more stuff coming. So please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Tell your friends about the Virzi Effect. Check out Anything Better. Go to paulvirzi.com. Guys, here are the cities I'm coming to. I will be coming to Atlanta, Georgia. Like I said, Punchline starting 2022, January 7th through the 9th. In March, I believe. Yeah, March. I will be in Austin, Texas. Those dates are going to be on the website soon. Late March into April, I'll be at the Comedy Connection in Providence, Rhode Island. All right. And in early May, I believe May 5th through the 7th, I'll be at Side Splitters in Tampa, Florida. And more dates are coming. All the dates will be on paulvirzi.com. And there you go, man. I cannot thank you guys enough for listening. I cannot thank you guys enough for being fans. I cannot thank you guys enough for watching my first special. Guys, it's available right now till December 27th for free till December 27th on Comedy Central streaming network. Get it all on my socials. It's free. It'll be on my website. It's free. And then after that, it goes on the paywall. And then the new special. Oh, the new special. I could tell you guys this. This is what I could tell you. A lot of people I respect, a lot of people I love are saying amazing things about it. It's better than I'll Say This. And I love I'll Say This. Well, I should say I stand by it. I don't really like to watch myself. Truth be told, I watched I'll Say This one time, and it was when it was on TV with commercials, and I was pacing and standing and watching and walking away. And that's it. I could not wait for it to be over. My wife sat in bed and watched it. And I was like, I don't really watch myself, but, this next one I watched a ton because I was really in the editing process, and it's better. So you guys will be seeing that as well. That's it, guys. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys, and Merry Christmas. And if you celebrate Christmas, just don't tell your kids that Santa's fake. Let them have that. Just give them that. Love you guys. I'm out.